Hello, and in today's video we're going to be taking a look at the Ielts exam, and we're going to be having a look at the reading, and this is really aimed particularly for those people who are doing their academic Ielts and in the reading section. So remember, you have 3 different readings to do and you have 1 hour to do it. 2 of those readings, there'll be 13 marks, and for 1 of the readings, there'll be 14 marks. So in this video, I'm just going to be running through some of the things that you need to bear in mind when you're tackling the Ielts exam. So let's have a look at my first tip. Read the instructions carefully. Now, as many of you will know, when you are doing the Ielts, they are constantly changing the instructions on you, unlike in a lot of other Cambridge exams. Sometimes they'll say write 1 word, sometimes they'll say 2 or 3 words or a number, sometimes they'll say write true, false or not given, or yes, no, not given. Other times they'll give you a letter or a number and tell you to write the number or the Roman numeral on the answer paper. So you've really got to be careful of this, especially if you've been practicing and doing lots of tests. It's very easy to get confused and make a mistake. Always read the instructions very carefully, because for every exercise they're constantly changing them on you. Manage your time. As with any exam, as I said, you've got 3 readings and 1 hour to do them, which basically means if you divide that up, 20 minutes per reading. And I guarantee you, out of 1 of the 3 readings will always be slightly more challenging than the other ones, or maybe it's about a topic that you don't particularly like, or you find it really boring, which never helps. Remember to allocate, I would say, the same time to each one. The one thing you do not want to do is spend like half an hour on one part of the reading, because that just puts you under so much pressure for the rest of the reading, and in fact it can end in tragedy, especially if you get a reading that you've really struggled with. You spend 35 minutes doing that and you get a lot of it wrong anyway, and then you run out of time on the easier parts. It's never a good thing. So watch your time. Underline keywords in the questions. This is a standard tip really for any exam taker. Always underline so you know exactly what information that you are reading or scanning the text for. Which brings me to the next one. In Ielts, this is a very useful technique, just scanning for information. A lot of the time they'll give you maybe a country or the name of a person or a name of a scientific theory, and you've got to find out who said that or who came up with that, and you're just kind of scanning the text for that name or that country, and this works very well. So scanning is particularly effective in the Ielts exam. Don't worry about unknown words. Again, there's probably always going to be a couple of these in the exam. Don't stress out. Read the sentence that the word is in and try and understand the meaning, just like you would do in your native language as well. Eliminate answers. If you ever get the classic question A, B, C, D, this works very well. You can say, well, it's not C, it's not D, so it's A or B, and then underline something in the text to prove your answer. It also works very well if you have the paragraph exercise, when they give each paragraph a title type exercise. This works. You can read your paragraph and say, well, it's definitely not number 1, it's not 3, it's not 4, it's between 5 and 6, and then have a look at these and narrow it down. So this really helps speed things up for you. Answers are often in order. This is true when it comes to Ielts, because it's a Cambridge exam. So your first exercise is usually near the front of the text, and the last exercise is usually at the end of the text. This saves you time because, again, you kind of know where you're looking for answers. It isn't always the case, however. Sometimes there'll be an exercise that you have to look at the reading as a whole. And again, this kind of brings me to something else I would like to touch on, and that is make sure you practice doing the reading how you like doing it. And there are two ways that students like to do it. Some students who are very, very fast readers like to read the whole text first and then have a look at the answers. Personally, because I'm a pretty slow reader, I don't like doing that, and I'll go straight to the questions first, underline all my keywords, find out what information I'm looking for, then I'll read the text. But again, this is up to you, and it's up to how you can, do the 3 readings to time, and it's something that you should practice during the tests. So I hope this video has given you something to think about. If you want any more information about any of the points that I've raised, please feel free to send us a comment and we'll get back to you as soon as you can. If you need any help with your IELTS listening, there's lots of IELTS videos on this channel, especially the writing ones are very popular. I hope this has been useful. Thank you very much for watching. Bye for now.